Oh, shit.
Hello our beautiful hammerheads and welcome back to another Warhammer Plus animation review. And this one is The Interrogator episode 1. Always more blood. Okay, before we start talking about the episode, let's talk about the animators. Because the animators, it's quite different than the usual ones. The main animators are M2 Animations based in Thailand, and their usual stuff is, how can we say it, cutesy, innocent Lego Disney animations. But it's pretty fluid motions. And then they have made what was it? The Kill Team trailer?
The Warhammer 40k trailer
Yes.
for the 9th edition, and the Age of Sigmar trailer for the 3rd edition.
Yes. And we all know those look pretty awesome. There's nothing to say against it. And some animations were made by DD Animations based in Vietnam. They're also mainly cutesy, innocent stuff. So the animation style of Interrogator is fully on purpose. There are fluid motions in it, but not everything is fluid, so it is very deliberate on the choices they made. And yeah, what are your thoughts about the animation style, brother?
Well, I'm a big fan of noir. So this entire show is held in the noir movie style, everything black, white, and gray. And if it's well done, I'm a huge fan of it. And to be honest, I didn't even notice if there are any stocks in the animation, because I was just taken aback from the pure episode. I mean, if you have seen Hammer and Bolter from beginning to now and how the animation evolved through the episodes, and now you get here an animation and it's the first episode and it looks good.
Yes.
For me, it looks just good.
Yeah, so the only stocky thing is the rain for me, because it's very stylized, so it should look like it's very dark and gritty. The whole style reminds me of late 80s, early 90s cartoons. It's dark, it's gritty, it's basically the Batman animation, just with F-bombs. That was pretty shocking for me, because I expected, if there is the F word, then that they are using frag or anything like that, which is basically used in the Black Library publications, in the majority of Black Library publications.
Not all of them.
Yes.
The Gaunt's Ghost series, there are a lot of swear words. So yeah, it's like the current style. Yes, a lot of authors don't like swear words, so they go like by the Emperor or Frick, if we go with Kaifa's Kane. But Dan Abnett loves to use swear words in his novels. Yeah. So everyone who has read Gaunt Ghost know what I'm talking about.
So for the whole first episode, there isn't really much happening. We get a little bit of background story, but the intro says everything about the tone on which this episode and hopefully the rest of the series will go. And you can watch the whole intro on the YouTube page, I believe they released it. Otherwise, I will link it in the description box down below. And yeah, the tone of this episode they did not over-exaggerate with it's a mature theme. There are drugs, there's alcohol overconsumption, let me phrase it like that. And the violence is not over the top, but it feels gritty. Or is it just me? I don't know.
Well, it's actually common for the style. So noir is always a bit more darker in style.
Sorry, it's not about the comparison to other noir styles, but with the usual 40k or
yeah. With the usual 40k, it feels it comes through this noir style. So this entire setting feels a bit more darker compared to others. What we saw in 40k, I assume it's because of the lack of color that makes the entire world a bit more darker, depressive, and so when something happens, it affects the watcher more than in a colorful world where a Tyranid has 17 colors of chitin.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of humor in it, which I always want in dark stuff, because I reiterate, humor makes dark things darker. And there is a scene in which someone knocks at his door and he's like, "Oh, I can't remember if I have locked it." And then he just looks at the door and the lock is open and he's like, "Damn it." And everything else after that is just a punch in the face, basically. Yeah, but let's go through the scenes. What is at the beginning of this episode? Tell me about it.
Well, the opening is pretty much clear. We have a rainy day somewhere in the city, and you hear someone running through the rain, and suddenly violence, and someone gets shot, and trucks get taken.
Yeah.
And you have the interrogator Jürgen. He's standing beneath the shower and he has hallucinations, memories of his past. And talks about how everything ends in violence, and it shows how pretty serious this show actually is.
Yes.
And how serious the main character is. That whatever has happened in the past to him has affected him.
So he's basically suffering from PTSD.
Yeah. And you see in one of his hallucinations that he saw Belena, who was his inquisitor, died in front of his eyes. And this caused the PTSD.
Yeah, maybe there's more background to those two, that that his emotion got so hit by her probably death. We just assume that she's dead because it's very much implied.
Yeah. Well, you have to keep in mind that Interrogator is the apprentice of an inquisitor, and yes. they are something for them, not just like mentor. They are like parents, a parental figure, or in some cases even a lover. So there could be a bit more because an inquisitor trains an interrogator to become an inquisitor.
Yes.
So maybe he saw her as his mother, or they hate something together, depending.
So all the while, there's one of my favorite quotes right now when he's under the shower.
Living means learning to do what's necessary. And what's necessary can often feel like swallowing a razor blade.
And that he's trying to get rid of his emotions with drugs and alcohol. And this is a pretty common theme in the real world, sadly, that many combat veterans or people with traumas are just trying to drown their sorrows with chemicals. And yeah, so this was dark. I just can't find another word. This was really depressing to watch. Before we digress, the next scene, his office.
Yeah, he's sitting in his office. He tries to sleep while his vox goes the whole time. That he has urgent message. He has to answer the call, and this goes like 1,000 times, and he's just like, just let me sleep. Frig off. It can't be so. It can't be so.
Nothing is this important.
Yeah, nothing is this important. It can't be this important.
You'd have thought I'd have been used to a thick head by now.
Whoa.
Emperor's eyes. Nothing is this important.
Just let me be. And he finally gets up and answers the call of a man called Eloy, who is his informant. And Eloy is just like, yeah, there were a few guys looking for you, and they are coming to you. I told him where you are.
Ooh,
And
we forget something.
Hmm?
Our main character, Jürgen, just looks like Rammstein's frontman Till Lindemann. And this is so good. I love it. Okay, sorry. Just had to mention it.
yeah, I have the Rammstein flag right behind me. Yeah, so there's then the scene who we talked about, where he looks at the door and is like, hopefully I locked up the door, and of course it's not locked up. And they come in. So they are a group. We don't have any names for them. They work for a drug dealer called Ado, which Jürgen has to pay back some money. And they are two big brutes and a wonderful young woman with an awesome hairstyle and some tattoos.
The tattoos are amazing.
Sit down. That I can do.
Yeah, and because it's noir, Jürgen has a monologue. He has this voice the entire time in his head. He narrates everything he does, he sees, and it's pretty normal for noir. So one of my favorite parts, because in most movies most movies or shows, you have the character and you just see what they do but not what they think. And I guess this is for me the most important part. Hey, I think now this, and I see this small details, and he purrs for her and himself a glass of armor sec, and he doesn't even listen to her. She's talking, and he has this inner monologue and thinks about, yeah, they want me to do something for Ado. I should do. She tells about some details about some job which I have to do, some people I have to kill, and he doesn't really want to.
Ado's messenger keeps flapping her mouth.
And in the end, he's like, yeah, no, I'm not doing it. And with one of the best actions ever.
Oh, that really got me. Not because it was... So, yeah, it was brutal. I really enjoyed this scene because it's so down to earth. That sounds really harsh from me, but so the action starts with him basically going like, "Come here, bitch," grabs her and shoves a broken Amasek glass in her throat. And oh my god, just the crunching sound. That was good.
Yeah.
And all the while he has his misloaded gun. Can we say it like that? Because he has a partially loaded revolver in his hand and try to shoot the guys. And it's not going his way like he wanted it to.
I just love this scene. He takes the gun out, aims at the first one, clicks, empty, goes down, checks the magazine and yeah, it's not empty. I just misloaded it.
I'm too drunk to load my gun. So the whole fight scene is pretty short, but it's really well made. So there, I want to say the experience of M2 animations comes through on how to display action, which is very good. I was really surprised on how well it was made. And so there is, of course, a little bit of talking, and one of the guys just stands there, aims at him at the end, and it's just like, okay, do you want to die for her or do you want to go and live? And this never happened, basically. And this guy is voiced by Toby Longworth, so we will definitely see more of that guy. But I did not recognize the voice of Jürgen. I know that voice, but I can't put it somewhere on which name is behind that voice. Did you have something about this?
No, this question. When I look on Twitter, everyone is like, I know the voice, but I can't say who it is. And this is currently the Twitter state to this episode. Everyone knows Jürgen, but no one can say who voiced him.
Yeah, that's so weird. But I love it.
Yeah, I love the end scene because there is the standoff. So Jürgen has dispatched of the two bodyguards. She is bleeding out, and he narrated before that there must be one or more guys outside as backup, and two guys come in, and Jürgen just holds them at gunpoint and has her as hostage while she is holding her throat and gurgling and bleeding out, and it's such a gruesome picture. And the first one comes with a revolver, and they negotiate. Yeah, you can take her, and then you go and you let me live. Yeah, okay. And Jürgen aims his revolver and clicks, and it's another blank, so nothing happens. This guy goes a bit cocky and takes out his big knife next to the revolver. Yes. He takes a knife to a gunfight.
To a shooter fight.
Yeah. And Jürgen just clicks, and of course this was not empty, and shoots him, and now this standoff between Toby Longworth and him. And she is slowly dying, and of course she dies.
Yeah.
She dies, and he's then like, she's dead. You can go, you go your way, and forget this entire thing. And he's like, yeah, okay, I go, but I will not forget it.
Yeah.
It was such an awesome scene, this entire standoff. It was maybe just like 3 or 4 minutes, but it felt like an eternity. So this episode with 13 minutes felt like 30 minutes.
Yeah, it felt longer than it really is. And this is a good thing. It was not boring at all. It was just the tension.
It felt really, really long.
Yes. So, but after that scene, the door again, there is a knocking, and there is someone who has a key to the door, because this time Jürgen locks his door because he's not giving it a chance to, well, get kicked in a second time. And so there is probably his best friend, and he's an enhanced human. We don't know more about it, but he's pretty obviously enhanced.
I knew I'd regret giving you that mag key.
Then who'd be here to pull you out of your own vomit?
Yeah, he's also a head taller than Jürgen, and he's part cyborg.
Yeah.
So his left side is cyborg, and he has a few cables coming from his head to his spine, and his name is Boulder. And
I love
according,
that name.
yeah,
Boulder feels conflicted. The boulder's over his conflicted feelings.
and according to Jürgen, he's his best friend,
Yeah.
and he doesn't like him, but he knows he's his best friend.
Yeah.
And Boulder just tells him that it's about Belina, about the Inquisitor, and that's how this episode ends.
And I just wanted to see more.
Yes, yes.
It's really heart-wrenching that we have to wait 2 weeks for the next episode.
2 weeks is nothing.
Yeah, time will fly.
Time will fly, and I hope we get at least 10 episodes.
Oh yes. But
five minimum, 10 maximum.
my guess is 6 episodes. I do not know why, but it feels like a 6-episode series. But we will have to see.
I mean, if we compare this now to former animations that ended like Angels of Death or like Exodite, Angel of Death was really long. There are a lot of animations who feel a bit less in style and everything, despite that they are longer. But this one was short, but it had everything in it.
Yeah.
For a first episode. And this was surprising.
I really want to see more of this.
Yeah.
This,
me too.
As I've said, they did not over-exaggerate with the mature themes.
Yeah.
I wasn't prepared for it, and all the while I want more of this one. This is so grim dark, and everyone who says Games Workshop lost their grim dark ways, no. You have no idea, my young Padawan. Some people just have a hilarious concept of grim darkness.
So this entire show, was wonderful. The first episode, yeah. I was really surprised how good it was. And I actually can't wait for the second episode. I will watch this episode later with our friend who can't watch. So, yeah, I will try to notice some more details, but it was amazing.
I will watch this episode later again. So, I don't know, it was beautiful. In its own way, beautiful.
For me, it was fantastic.
Yeah. I'm not such a fan as of noir styles. But oh damn it, that was so good.
Noir is always good.
No.
Trust me, noir is always good.
Ultimately, ending, I give it. Oh, what do I give it? Oh, I'm kinda torn between 8 and 9, but I will give it, because it's such a great pilot episode, a 9 out of 10 Amasek glasses. Because my only thing that does not give it a 10 out of 10 is the length. Because it's a positive that I wanted more, but the first episode could have been longer. Yes,
well,
this is my...
I thought the length was perfect for first episode for a short series. So I give it 10 of 10 coins. And yeah. And before we talk about more about trucks, etc., there was a disclaimer in the beginning of the movie. Violence, swear words, nudity, trucks.
Oh, yes.
15 plus.
Oh,
15
I
plus.
forgot those.
So I hope we see at least in the future episodes more nudity.
But this disclaimer is in every episode of Hammer and Bolter.
Yeah, because of the violence. But now we have trucks and swear words. Now I want a nudity.
Slaanesh. No. Nurgle.
He's always nude.
Yeah. Or maybe we will see some, let me phrase it like
flashbacks.
This, flashbacks of love scenes between Jürgen and Belena.
Oh, juicy. Juicy.
Yeah. But yeah, now we will have to finish this sadly. But what are your thoughts about this episode? Did you like it as much as we do? If not, Why not? Please let us know in the comments down below. We are keen to know what you have to say. And while you're down there, do all the YouTube stuff because hitting buttons is fun. Have a great day, my friend. Stay fantastic. Stay hydrated. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.
Da hat der Ton bei dir abgebrochen.
Sauerei.